3, 2, 1.
Woo! Welcome back to another episode of the, what is this?
What?
No, that's a presidential thing, isn't it?
Oh, I think so.
Have you been watching those darned conventions?
Gosh, no, I've been watching Tom and Jerry. It's much more happy.
The Voiceover.Guru's podcast. And of course,
Yes.
It's JJ Wilson.
And Linda Bruno.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, that's so cool the way we said each other's names.
I love it.
I love that. That'll have to be a new tradition.
We're in sync. Didn't you say at one point you wanted...
No, I'm not. I'm in the studio.
Didn't you say at one point you wanted to write like a theme tune for the Voiceover.Guru's podcast?
Yes. And I was saying it like Bill Murray's Happy Birthday. Happy birthday to you. Yeah. Everybody.
Maybe it needs to be something like that, lounge singer-esque.
Yeah. I'll have to get a seersucker suit. But yeah, I think we can make that work.
Well, right now, being for us the end of the summer and the end of August, where it's a bit quieter. Yes. That's okay. We thought we would talk about some really boring stuff, like business.
Well, I had a toenail removed.
Ew. That's gross.
No, I was kidding.
Okay, good. I
Well,
don't
that's
want to
boring,
talk about
though.
that.
No, me either.
Billing and establishing yourself with your first small business as a talent. I think that is something that we get questions about.
Yes.
And it's extremely important, and we never talk about it.
No.
So how did you get yourself way back in the day as an independent? Like, what did you do to set yourself up personally?
Well, the reason I had to set myself up, I went the corporation S corporation, and the reason I did that is because I suck at putting money away for taxes when I wasn't an S corporation. So at the end of the year, my accountant said, "Well, you owe $17,000," and I'm going, He said, "You should really pay them as you go," and I went, Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah,
Estimated.
The estimated, quarterly or whatever. But I never save enough of it to do that. But having a corporation, you have to. Otherwise, they come to your house and go, "I'm sorry, Mr. Wilson, on last year's paycheck, you didn't do that." But anyway, it makes you do it.
Yes,
And
it
it gives you lots of protections.
Organized.
Yeah, it gives you, if something happens, you get workman's comp, and you contribute to Social Security that way, and stuff like that. So it's a good thing. You don't have to do it.
No.
But for me, it's just a good discipline, and it's easier to keep track, and the records are all there, and I use QuickBooks.
I use QuickBooks too. Do you use QuickBooks Online? Because that's what I use.
Yes. And they send you, the current tax rate, and you base your paycheck on that. You how much taxes you pay and stuff like that. It's really quite simple.
Yeah, I started off as well only because my mother's been a bookkeeper / accounting person for God knows how many years, so she kind of advised me as to what to do.
Gotcha.
You can go the simple way and do a DBA, doing business as, and just as long as you set up a separate account, a business account.
Right. No commingling. No commingling.
Yeah, that's where people get, in big time trouble.
Yes.
But
commingling means don't put some of your business money into your checking account until you register it into the business account first.
Right. So
Because otherwise it looks like you're cheating.
Well, I mean, if you've got really good organizational skills, and you can be that person that says, my mother used to say back in the day before I had a corporation, she would say immediately pull 30% of everything you make out.
Yes.
And just put it in another account.
And see, my mother used to say, no, that's a rectal thermometer. So, we both had mothers who had good advice.
Oh, great. So,
And I said, what?
If you're concerned about starting a corporation, which you can do all that stuff online.
Yes.
It's so easy to do. It's really not a complicated thing. You don't need to hire like a lawyer and pay all these thousands of dollars.
No, but I don't even, I think I pay for QuickBooks on a monthly basis, and I don't think it's any more than $20, $25 a month.
Oh, for
If that.
QuickBooks, yeah. But
Yeah,
what about,
if
I'm
that.
talking about setting up a corp.
Oh, that's not much either. It's pretty easy.
Depending
I
on your
had my
state,
account.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
You can
And
look that up.
and then my accountant does the rest of the, which also makes it nice for your accountant because you just give them the code to get into your QuickBooks, and everything is there. Mm-hmm. I remember back in the days, my father and mother would hand their accountant a big, huge, giant box of receipts, and he would go, "Oh no,
That's a nightmare.
God, yeah." So we try not to do that. Janine takes pictures of all the receipts and things like that,
That's great.
so that it's all on. There's a record of everything, and yeah.
Some people use FreshBooks. I've never used FreshBooks before. I've always done QuickBooks, but similar
too.
concepts.
Okay.
But yeah, the basics are there, and if you decide
They smell like lavender.
What's that?
They smell like lavender. That's what makes it better.
That's the only difference. Yes.
Yeah.
So I did the same as you. I set up an S corp, but I run payroll for myself.
So do I.
You do? Do you use like
Yes.
ADP or anything?
No, I went before we started the show.
So who do you use for your payroll?
What do you mean? I use QuickBooks.
Right. No, but I know, but like, so you don't have an outside service that actually makes the
Oh no,
payments for you.
for one person, dear God, no. I just write my own check from QuickBooks. I
You do it
pay
yourself.
my taxes. Yeah, every Friday afternoon, I just write myself a little checky and send off the tax money, and I'm done.
You're very good with that. I am not. So I have ADP, file my quarterlies and do everything. You pay a fee for every time the payroll is run, but because I have Sandy as well,
Yes,
both
you have
on
another
payroll,
employee.
but
Yes.
in the circumstances of everything that we've just gone through with COVID and filing for the PPP, it was easy for me to get it because I ran payroll and I had all the documentation done.
Right. Right.
So doing that groundwork can be beneficial for you long term, especially when who knew we were going to go through a freaking pandemic, and then
I certainly didn't.
yeah, I know, and then suddenly have to be scrambling to try to see if you could possibly get any loan assistance or anything from the small business from the SBA.
No.
But yes, we have workers' comp and all that stuff. Of course, they send me the big posters and say, please post this in your workplace so all your employees see
I don't have
it.
room.
So I'm like, Sandy, come here. You see it? All right.
Okay, good. All right.
Here it goes.
Okay.
But QuickBooks is, once you get used to it, it's a great way to just stay organized with all of your expenses. Because think about all of the things that we spend as voice talent running our own businesses.
Right.
I
and the
mean-
deductions you can take.
Yes, you don't want to miss out on any of that.
No. I deducted the dog last year. Well, somebody to greet the clients when they come in. And my accountant went, "No, JJ, no.
Greet the clients.
No. A little tail wagging, couple licks, quick crouch sniff. Come on.
That's where the
Welcome to
deduction.
Echo Hill Studios. Hey, what's your dog's name? Well, it's Crotch Sniffer. Why? Ooh, I like him. Okay. Yes, no. But you can deduct, part of your house, especially working at home. You can deduct part of your house as a workplace, a percentage of the electric bill,
Right.
the water bill, and everything you can deduct. It's wonderful.
Yep, you can deduct a portion of
wonderful.
it. So
Yeah.
those are the types of things that either you need to get with a really good accountant that gets you set up, or in
And
addition
if anybody
to.
needs one, boy, do I have one who specializes in voiceovers.
Do
and
you?
actors, yes.
Oh,
Been with
that's
him
great.
for-
Maybe we could post that somewhere.
I've been with him for, I think 25 years.
Oh, wow. Or give the information now.
Yeah, his name is Mitch Katz, and the name of the company is Katz, Freund, Fisher.
You're going to have to spell that.
I don't know. Yeah. Just email me.
Yeah.
But I got audited one year,
Ooh.
and I called Mitch, and I said, he said, you got a letter, didn't you? And I said, he said, I'll call you right back. And he hung up, and about 10 minutes later, he called back, and he said, okay, it's off. And I went, what?
What?
And he said, that's why you pay me the big bucks. And I guess, I don't know who he spoke to, but it went from going through an audit to, never mind.
Yeah, well, maybe something flagged and he, the IRS gets flagged with certain expenses. And
Yep,
maybe he
like the
explained
dog. Yeah, the dog.
it. Right. But yeah, a good accountant will help you with things like that.
The
But it is
Echo
important
Hill
to keep
Studios
track of
greeter.
all of the things that go to running a business. I know for me, especially running Voiceover.Gurus, all the subscription costs every month that I spend, and especially now in this day and age because everything is online, that is where most of my expenses come from.
Yes. Yes.
And it's also the hosting of your website, any maintenance, like my web guy's coming in this afternoon, so there's a couple of hours there that I definitely have to run through my business so I can deduct it because it's an expense towards my business.
Right.
Yep,
you're going to deduct a lot of things.
Yes.
Even your cable. I deduct part of my cable.
Yeah, you can. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I got to be able to watch TV so I can hear myself. Mm-hmm. Yep.
So that's the exciting, the not so great exciting thing to talk about, but it is very relevant. Also with QuickBooks, you can stay very organized with your invoicing of clients and
yes, that's how I do
maintain
all
your
my
client base.
invoicing too. That's how all my. Unfortunately, some of the clients they get used to a certain address, and you move and you put a new address and send them an email on an invoice, and they still mail it to the old place.
Yeah.
And then you drive 2 hours to pick up a check that was sent 5 months ago and forget that they already repaid it, and then you put it in the bank and pay bills, and then you have to write them a check for $1,000 because you just remembered that they already paid you for that. And then after all that, they did it again. So it's you've really got to be on top of these people and make sure you get to whoever pays the bills at the company to make sure that they have the address change, because after 6 months, a year, they won't forward it, and it just gets lost in ozone land.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
And they go, well, I didn't know. And I said, well, it's on the invoice. I know you do everything electronically, but you still every now and then have to see if I moved.
Right.
Or.
But that's,
So that's
another
a pain.
thing to remember, even if you're just like you're starting out, maybe you're booking some jobs on one of the pay-to-plays, you still need to create invoices for yourself, even though you guys might do electronic
Right.
transfer payment.
Right.
You know,
you still got to
you still
keep
have
track
to
so you know
document
who owes you what, when.
Yes. Because what if that client comes to you a year later, says,
Yeah.
I want to use you for such and such, and you don't remember what you guys quoted what you quoted them. I like to refer to old invoices as to what I had quoted the client at that point.
Right.
And that way I can either update the charge or keep it consistent if it's someone that I like.
Yeah. And if someone you don't like, I'm sorry, it's 30% more this year.
Right. So it is very important that you keep things straight, especially for your taxes, like JJ mentioned.
Yes.
Because you got to pay those taxes. If you don't pay the
Yeah,
taxes.
you do. Yeah, you do. It's terrible. It's terrible. Mm-hmm. So that's your brief lesson on QuickBooks.
Now,
Let's talk about
something else exciting. Insurance.
yes, like insurance.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you either have to if you go through the union, if you're a big union guy, a girl, person. Then and you're making more than they raise it every 5 minutes, the threshold. So
Yeah.
I don't know what it is now. I think it's like $30,000 through the union to qualify.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's like 3 different tiers. If you do this, you get the tier 1, and the rates are higher and blah blah blah. That's one way. But if you're like most of us, I don't. It doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
But thank gosh, my wife has a job that has insurance.
Right. So it's either you're dependent on spousal insurance or you
Yes.
get your own insurance, like I have my own insurance.
Yes.
And that really sucks because
Yeah.
I spend a crap load of money on insurance
Yes.
every month.
Yes. And you insure your voice too, don't you?
Yes, I also have voice insurance, but it's really overall disability. Even though it specifies for voice and
Right.
it's through Lloyd's of London.
Yes.
So it's like a specialty insurance, but it really is it's disability, people. It's a fancy way of saying you're getting disability. So for some reason, God forbid, I am incapable of doing my job for X amount of, days or weeks, then I get a monthly stipend. So I
Yes.
pay once a year,
Gotcha.
a
Gotcha. There's lots of expenses in voiceovers, too.
Yes. But, it's insurance. So I can write off the insurance,
Yep.
So
Yep.
that's important. Also, I have insurance here for the studio, just in case, because before COVID hit, obviously, I was having improv classes here.
Right.
And what if somebody trips on a cable?
Right. Having a home studio, you don't need that because it's covered over the homeowners.
Yes.
Yes. So if somebody walks in here, well, I don't know if I get a second person in here, but maybe, and they tripped and fell, they'd probably just fall into the foam on the walls and not be hurt at all. So, yeah.
Look, if you want to keep your expenses low, my advice to you is to marry rich, okay?
Yeah. Yep.
Then you can do whatever the heck you want.
That's exactly right.
You may not be
That's-
happy, or you may be blissfully happy. I don't know.
Probably not, depending on the circumstances. I told you about that story.
You had a friend that, do you want to give a
Yeah.
little
No.
synopsis?
No.
Maybe.
No. No. I just want to leave that one alone.
So why bring it up?
Oh, because I just think about it every now and then.
So I'll give a little bit of it. So it's somebody I also know. Same thing. Okay. Actually, I do have a friend that something similar happened. Somebody that I used to know way back when I was in college, and this person was always a big mooch, and we'd all go to dinner, and that person would never open up their wallet to pay for anything.
Uh-huh.
And they wind up meeting a friend of a friend who has a lot of money. And this person has been with the guy with a lot of money ever since. Basically attached herself like a octopus. And didn't let go. And is alone because the guy's off doing his thing. But she's got her big house and she's got her kids. And I guess she's happy as a little clam. But
Wow.
I wouldn't know. Because I don't think she's being honest.
No, it's not always it's not always what you think.
Right.
I know that firsthand.
Not to say that it can't happen. I'm sure it can happen.
Secondhand, I should say.
What's that?
Secondhand, I should say.
Secondhand, yes. But yes. Yeah, anyway, those are stories for another time.
Yes.
So I know it's a boring chat for you, but we get questions about it, and people want to know, how do I set it up? How do I go about? And I tell people, don't get crazy with it. If you want to initially just get a separate business checking account.
That's a good way to start.
Yeah, and just start to
Just make
invoice
sure-
people manually,
Like Linda said, put 30% of it into a savings checking business account.
Yes. That way you're
And
covered.
just leave it there. Do not touch it. Leave it there, and you're good. You'll always be fine. Mm-hmm. Probably break about even at the end of the year.
Yeah. Hey, if you make a profit in your first year of voiceover, you're doing good.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think most
One day I'm gonna
businesses
do
take
that. It's gonna be
5
awesome.
years to turn a profit.
Yes.
So if you
God,
can generate one, but yeah, keep good records. Make sure you keep all your expenses. You guys take pictures of your receipts, and
Yep.
I scan items and keep them on my hard drive. It's very important.
I even started taking pictures of the waitress, but Janine said, honey, we don't really need to do that.
No, just the receipt of
Just the receipts, not the waitress. But she said, if you're going to do that, at least take it while she's standing here, not while she's walking away.
Oh.
And I went, all right, honey. And then she got up and left. So anyway, but that leads me to the 15th thing on our list of, was it 15th or was it C? I was never very good at filing. Anyway, that leads me to, you get into situations sometimes where, well, first of all, you have to get used to, in this business, it takes a long time to get paid by some people.
Yes.
I mean, it could be a year.
Yeah.
There are people who take a year to pay, and you got to bug them, and you got to bug them, and you got to... Most people are, 30, 60, 90 days is the norm now. Mm-hmm. But after that, they owe you $7,000, $8,000, and as voiceover actors, we don't have a steady paycheck. And you go, gee, I really wish I had that. And I've said that through my entire career. You know, if everybody would pay me what I'm owed right now, I'd be set for a while. I mean, a long while. But it's always there. The balance is always there, and it trickles in, and it makes it very difficult to pay bills.
Yes.
You know, you have to kind of plan, and, you know, if you buy a new car, I'll say, all right, but I need the payment to come out around September 23rd, you know, for the first payment, because I know that I get a certain check, you know, before. But anyway, you have to be very careful how you go about asking for money, which is the dumbest thing in the world, asking for money that's been owed to you for months.
That you worked for, yeah.
That I worked for and turned around very quickly and edited, and they got it on the air like they asked, and then they take 4 months to pay. But there's a very fine line, and I have crossed it a couple of times. Once, unfortunately, with the Science Channel.
You upset someone?
I did. Well, I lost my temper. It was 6 months.
Wow.
And I'd done 5 shows. You know, it was $10,000.
Wow.
And I kept calling. I kept sending invoices. And I finally called and I said, what do I need to do to get paid? Mm-hmm. It's been 6 months. This is ridiculous. And I really got out of hand. Wow. But I finally got paid, but I've never heard from them again.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
But it's just not fair.
No.
You know, I said to whoever it was, I don't remember, it was so long ago, but I said, how would you like it if your weekly paycheck got suspended by 4 months?
Right.
She said, well, I couldn't live. And I went, thank you.
Yeah, I know. Well, I try to separate it, and I use someone else to make calls for me because I don't want to be tied to that, you know, just because I don't want to.
Hey, Linda, are you available to make some calls for me?
What's that?
I say, are you available to make some calls for me?
Well, I used to have a really annoying older woman that was here in the office, and oh my God, she was so annoying, and she was perfect for collections. And she would, even though we didn't really get along, I said to her, look, I'm going to give you a commission. I'll give you 10% of this if you can collect it for me. And boy, did she have that check in house like a week later. And I heard her on the phone. She was doing the Jewish guilt thing. You know, she was saying, why aren't you paying? She wound up doing the job for you. She turned it around quickly. What's the problem? And the next
Little Timmy's got a broken crutch.
But it was great. That's what she did well. And it was so annoying to the people that they said, screw it, I'm gonna pay.
God.
To stop the annoying calls. So, but do you still do the calls for yourself, or can you have Janine do them? Or?
No, I still do them myself.
Yeah.
I still do them myself, but I do them differently now. I always get a couple of LOLs in the email and things like that, and they all eventually pay. I think I've been stiffed maybe twice in 30 years. So I just have to relax about it and kind of put up with it. There's not much else to do.
I got stiffed to the tune of $17,000.
Oh, ouch.
Yes. So I don't think you can top that one, but that was a rough period of time. It was a company overseas that I had worked for a good long while. So I was getting paid, regularly. So everything was all good. And all of a sudden it was like, oh, the check's coming a little later. The check's coming a little later. Yeah. And then it starts to build up. But then, you've developed a relationship and you've kind of got some trust there. You're like, okay, well, they've been good for it and they've paid me. And you go on and on and on and on. And next thing you know, they filed bankruptcy.
Yep.
And what am I going to do? Fly to Italy and, I'd have to hire an Italian lawyer, go over there. So,
hey, what are you going to do about a disability?
It's true. And then I get a letter when they had their settlement done, basically saying I'm getting 10 cents on the dollar or something.
Oh, that's nice.
Of which I got none. I got nothing.
Oh, good.
So,
excellent.
Bye-bye, 17 grand owed to me.
Yeah.
And that was painful.
Yeah.
But it happens.
Yeah.
You have
it does.
Sometimes you have long-term relationships, and I don't know. I just wish people would be honest and say, look, the company's not doing well. But they don't want to lose you then. They want you to continue to try to help them make money.
Right. Even though they're knowing full well they're not going to pay you.
Right. Which is not fair.
It's a fun business, isn't it?
Yeah. The thing is, I can talk about it calmly now because it's been at least 10 years since it happened.
Yeah.
I'm no longer shaking when I think about it.
Oh, that's good. Only 10 years. Good.
Only 10 years. But, yeah, these are some of the realities, and you have to be cautious with that too. So, and I don't know. I mean, I usually go the route of the friendly emails that, hey,
Yes, me too
checking
now.
in, want to see if
too
I can
now.
get paid.
Yeah.
A few of those, and then kind of step it up a little bit. Sandy will then start reaching out, that kind of thing.
Right. I always sign mine Al the Breaker.
Al the breaker. Breaker
Yeah.
legs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, the breaker legs.
Hey, I'm gonna come over there and get my $150.
I mean, it's business, though.
Do you like horses?
You provided a service. You should be paid for it.
I provide a service. Yeah.
Or what about the clients that say, yeah, they decided not to use it?
Oh, I love that.
I'm like,
so you'll just get a demo fee,
right.
but it'll still take 3 months to get it.
Or they're not going
Yeah.
to pay you at all. You ever had that?
No. Yeah, yep.
Yep.
And I actually had this was like 4 months ago. I did an audition, and they liked it, and I tweaked it, and then they booked me, and there was a bit of a language barrier, and I thought we were done. He said 2.5 minutes, and
Oh, I remember
first
that
time
one, yeah.
I read it in 3, and he said I needed 2.5, and I read it in 2:29, and but evidently he said 2 minutes. And I went, well, that would have been a really fast read. But he wrote my agent just the most horrible letter about working with me.
Yeah, well, that was
And that's the first
weird.
time in my 30, 40 years that's ever happened. I said, the man is lying.
Yeah.
I have the file here if you'd like to hear it. And so he said, yeah, I know. They've done this before. And I'm going, great. So it went from $1,000 to $150, which I still haven't gotten.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
So there are those jobs that will come.
And what really probably happened was that they got it all done. They showed it to the client. The client went, no, I don't like that voice. So then they have to make up a bunch of crap about how to get out of paying it so they can get somebody else to do it the way the client wants.
Right.
But like you said, just be honest.
No. It's easier to just create this story.
It's not. I would be, hey, JJ, listen, I'm so sorry. But we got it done. The client liked you at first, and when we got it all done, he just didn't go for it. And I would say, well, that happens.
Yeah.
What can we work out, for at least the time, maybe 25% of the original bill, and let's move on and try to work together on the next one.
Right.
But in this case, it destroys the relationship. You get nothing out of it. And it's there are many fine lines to not cross, and some you can. But I'd rather deal with a business problem that way. But, in today's world, honesty is not a big thing.
No, it's a shame, too. I mean,
It
every so
really,
often
really
you do
is.
get the person. But, I mean, I don't know. I think for the most part, what do you think the percentages of your client base that you have issues with?
Oh, God, less than 1.
Yeah, so we're very lucky.
Yeah.
In the grand
Yeah.
scheme of things, we're very lucky.
Yeah, I know I'm always going to get paid. It may take a while, but I just plan around it. That's all.
Yeah, if I have a chance to pay in advance for something like my car insurance,
Oh, yeah. I try to stay a month or 2 ahead on all my bills.
yeah, that way, or
Yes.
if there's any opportunity that I can go ahead and just pay something off, when I have the money, I do it,
Yep.
That way you can ride through the waves of the slower periods of the year that happen for all of us.
Yes.
It is,
Yes.
it is not, don't feel bad. Don't feel like, oh my God, I'm a failure because I'm not working. That's just, hey.
Linda and I call each other, are you working?
I
And
know.
I go, no, are you working? She said, no. And I'll go, so yeah, keep lying, Linda.
Here you are listening to two people that have been in this business for, 30 plus years, and we still get paranoid when we don't work.
Oh, my God. Yeah. If I had a beeper, I would be beeping myself to make sure it works. Sometimes I have Janine call me to make sure the phone's ringing, and send me an email, honey,
Right.
just to make sure I'm getting it. She writes, I want to book you for a job. And I'm going, yeah, it worked.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, but yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit about the business end of this business.
There you go. It's not the fun part, the part that we don't like talking about, or I don't really like talking about it because it's
No,
boring
I
as
hate
all
it.
get out. But
Yeah, but it's important. I mean,
It is.
it's just as important as the skill and talent itself, because if you do that wrong, you're never going to get to use your skill and talent. You're going to piss everybody off, and they're not going to call anyway. So it's an important. It's part of the business, and nobody likes to do that part. I'm going through that right now with my woodworking business.
Yeah.
Jenny and I are out in the barn, we're making stuff and it's all beautiful and everything else. Then we got to come inside, we got to write descriptions and put it on 5 different websites and, shoot a video. And oh my God, I wish I could just have, a crew to do all that for me, but we don't. So, but we're getting better about that. But it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the not fun part of the business, but that's part of every business.
It's a process and something that everybody has to, well, especially while you're building a new business,
Yes, I get that building.
But even still, I'm revamping my website, and literally after you and I finish with this recording, my web guy is here. And we're going to sit down for like 3 hours and work on it. But here you go. It's like, not that I'm starting from scratch, but I have to enhance. Got to change things.
Yeah.
Got to update.
Yeah. I got to go back on mine and change my age from 34 to something else. Yeah, I guess it's time I updated mine too.
What do you want to change it to?
Oh, I don't know, 41. Yeah.
So we're heading into September, and we have 4 Wednesday workouts for the month of September.
What day of the week are they on?
What day of the week? Oh, they're on Wednesdays.
Oh, okay, fantastic. I'm free those nights.
Good. So now on the 16th, Alyssa is going to join us again.
Is that a Wednesday?
Again. Did you hear me?
Is that a Wednesday?
Yes.
Okay, good.
The 16th, Alyssa Jason, our acting voiceover guru, is going to join us and coach alongside. So that's a very special, it's a special episode.
It's
that
special.
If you want to sign up for, it would be.
I'm special.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Well, you get that perspective from an actor, which is so important in what we do now.
And she's really good, too. She's really good.
Yes. So
she's really good.
The dates are pretty much set up. You can go to the website and sign up right now for any
I will.
of the September dates.
Oh, no. I can't. I got to teach. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, no, you're not. You're going to be there anyway, regardless.
Okay, so am I.
Well, again, thanks for joining us. Thank you, JJ.
Thank you, Linda. That was a big yawn festival, but very important stuff.
I know. We had to talk about it.
Have you ever been to a yawning festival?
Next time.
Have you ever been to a yawning festival? It's really exciting.
Is it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, gosh. Anyway, well, I think it's time for a nap, and maybe I'll call somebody and yell at them for not paying me.
Okay. Have a great rest of your day, and we will all talk to you soon.
Chalk? We're going to chalk to you soon?
To you soon. And email us if you have any suggestions for anything you want us to chalk about.
I got chalk about.
Chalk about. Linda at Voiceover.Guru. Info at Voiceover.Guru. JJ, do you have that? You don't have a guru address, do you?
No, I'm JJ Wilson Voices at Gmail.
That's
Gmail. JJ Wilson Voices at Gmail.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So if anybody wants to say anything, JJ Wilson Voices at Gmail.
Email us if you have questions or things you'd like us to discuss. And thanks again for joining us. This is the Voiceover Gurus podcast. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, what she said.